Turner, Head of Programming and Outreach for the Georgetown County Library System. Welcome to Digibridge 2.0. We're so happy to have y'all here. Great smiling faces out there, and a little one too. This is a great series, and this is a great place to kick it off here. This wonderful new library, beautiful place as you look around. And great folks out here, our staff. Cherie Drayton, we always say thank you to her for hosting us, but this Southern Georgetown branch. So we thank you for being here with us. This Digibridge 2.0 is a series of 12 humanities lectures by local experts on various elements of Georgetown County's deep, diverse history and culture. All presentations are free and open to the public. But not all have free food, so we're very, very pleased with that today, and thankful with our presenter today providing that. So, it's already, I skipped lunch today just for this occasion, and I'm happy I did. During March, we're here at our Southern Georgetown Library in Georgetown. In April, we'll have 4 more exciting presentations at our Carver's Bay Library in Hemingway. In May, we'll close out Digibridge at our Andrews Library in Andrews, so hope y'all will come along for those as well. And after the presentations, all 12 are available online for viewing on our Georgetown County Library YouTube page, so check them out there as well. The Digibridge 2.0 series is supported with a growth grant from South Carolina Humanities with funding provided by the National Endowment for the Humanities. South Carolina Humanities is a not-for-profit organization inspiring, engaging, and enriching South Carolinians with programs on literature, history, culture, and heritage. And we're so thrilled to have with us today Jane Guadalupe Garcia. For more than 20 years now, he has owned and operated Habanero's Mexican restaurant, sharing his family and cultural heritage through the food dishes he creates and serves. And Habanero's has become an iconic Georgetown County venue on the side of Highway 17 there. We're delighted to have him with us today to talk about what honoring and sharing this food tradition means to him and his family. And of course, he came bearing gifts, these wonderful, the food. We get to not only see the images, but also will smell and taste that food afterwards. So we thank you all for being here with us, and we thank you so much to Jane Guadalupe.
Our pleasure to be here today. Well, as he just said, my name is Jay Guadalupe Garcia. I was born in Chicago back in December 1996. I'm sorry, 95. And my family moved back to Mexico in the 1977. So I grew up and raised back at home in Mexico. We live in a small town in Mexico, like no bigger than the Georgetown town, which everybody knows everybody. And my family have a little farm where they engage with the cattle and raise them. And I remember when I was a little kid, with my brother, my old brother, which is 2 years older than me, we had to milk like 12 cows before we had to get to the elementary school. And with the time, we really enjoyed that, and that was a very nice part of our life, like to be a farmer. Well, now I'm here to talk about a little bit our food, about the heritage we've been getting from our culture, especially in our food, in our cuisine, the Mexican cuisine. The importance of the food in our culture is something very big. With the years, as wine became more bigger and bigger. And the food is a great representation of our culture, as is in other countries, you know. Depending on every country, every race have their own style to cook and to see and to serve the food. Which with the years, you know, back in the days with our Indians and everything, until now, the tradition is still the same, it's still growing, and we still use them as an example for every new meals, new preparation, and they use all the ingredients. The Mexican culture is considered one of the best around the world. I'm not sure that what position, you know, on the range, but it's on the top 5. Might be the 5, you know, except Venus and other countries really, they have very good food. But today, the heritage and the humanity that we're getting from that is growing, and something that our chefs are showing now on the big shows, on the big cities, on the international. They still haven't, they've been growing in that aspect, you know, showing our Mexican races and pretty much where we come from and the skills they have using our ingredients. And in the Mexican cuisine, back in the days, you know, the base of the ingredients has been always, as is in the back, is corn, tomatoes, cacao, which is the chocolate, the beans, and the chile. The chiles have to be in every single meal, right? The corn is mainly the king of the ingredients in everything. On the chiles, we see in the chiles, it's something that became very popular and very important. In Mexico, we grow more than 100 types of hot peppers. And it's interesting how you see in this picture, the peppers have 2 different tastes. It depends when they're fresh and they're dry. When they're dry, you know, these peppers are the base of the salsas. The mole sauce, which mole is one of the more important food in Mexico, is the most popular that represent our food. The mole is made with dry peppers. But you can see when they're fresh peppers, they have different type of spicy, the flavor. But when they dry, they completely change 100% their flavors. On the next picture we see, this is the Mexican blender. Back in the days we used it. You know, it's how they start using the ingredients with the peppers dry. They use it in the type, you know, when you start with the spices, and after the spices, you know, and these they can become a salsa. You can just make a dry salsa or like a juicy sauce, like we can see in the next picture, and something that we have here. Back in the days, when our Indians, they have their festivities. You know, they have they know when they have guests coming to their houses. I mean, their houses, aldeas, I don't know what they used to call their houses, but the big guys, you know, they have guests. When the people know they get invited, they would have the best food ever, because those people have the people in the kitchen, the special people in the kitchen, you know. They don't name it chefs and that, but it's the people that know every spicy, how can you combine it. So people that were invited, they know they will have the best meal ever in this time. This is a picture with in Mexico, the Aztecs, how they grow the corn. The corn is the base of their food. So they have, you know, the Aztecas, they have their cities sitting on a lake, in a big lake. So they had to find a way they can grow the corn, because the corn is still, it has the first ingredient of their food, on their kitchen. So they have grown corn, they will have the meals. And they find a way that they build the Chinampas. Chinampas, as you can see in the picture, it's floating gardens. What they call it, anchor gardens too. It's the way they can grow any grains, but mainly the corn. You can see they have, like, on the street, they have, like, canals. So they have, in their city, they have, like, as you can see in here, you know, it's how the city, the Aztecas town was back in the days. Pretty impressed, right? And you can see at the back the Chinampas. But there's one of the canals, they have the special street, it's not like, with the water in the canal, but they have the specific day that everybody goes there and they canoas, or they can even walk, and they can exchange the products. You know, some people get the corn, some people got beans, and other people got clothes, and they don't use money to buy. So, you know, they exchange products between them. So the people that grow the corn, you know, they have corn. Everybody needs corn, so they can have everything. They exchange for every needs, you know, whatever they need, they can easily have it. Back in the 1831 is when the first recipe book with the Mexican cuisine was appears. I don't know how the data who wrote it, but this is the beginning of a lot of history on our Mexican gastronomy. On the same, you know, back in the 1800s was Mexican independence time. They were having a fighting. They were fighting, dividing with the independence. As the independent, you know, the army in that time, they just fight, they eat what they find along the way. But mainly, is what they find was corn. And the corn, it was the base of their meals. They have ladies, so they enjoy the army just to cook. And you know, people that support them, they always get like, I have pounds of corn, I give to you, somebody give a chicken, somebody give a piece of cow. And at the end of the day, the army has always a good meals, you know? Because they always get support for people, because the other people really wants to help. But they can fight, but they help in other different ways. And the main way, they have prisoners, you know, that they get from for the other ones, and they keep her with them. They don't kill it, they don't leave it alone. They keep the prisoners and they care with them. But then they have a special diet for them. They only feed them with for breakfast they just give you chocolate and a piece of bread, and they even just give you a pulp rice, and the night just a cup of tea, because they have to keep her a little weak so they don't you know. In the 1910, it was a revolution of Mexico. And there, it kind of the same thing, you know, they were fighting North and South against the government. It was, the president of Mexico was there for 30 years, and the people was just like, you know, we need something different. But the president in there was Porfirio Diaz. Being there for 30 years, you know, as a president, he always won the best. So he bring the chefs from France to cook for them, to using Mexican ingredients, and that the Mexican cuisine have a little new ideas that were from French, would make it a little best. In 2000, it comes with a new different type, same type, but the Mexican cuisine comes, they call it a new kitchen. They come the new version, you know, they have a little upscale with our kitchen. It became more popular around the world, around the different countries, South America, North America, like Europe. In Europe, they don't know the corn until back in the days when Cristobal Colon come to America to conquist Mexico. That's when they started like bringing corn to Europe. As in Europe, they use the wheat, as Asian use the rice, as America. In South America, we use the corn. So corn is original from America, so that's a good thing. I have to mention in 1977, as a Mexican, we got the tequila. The tequila obtained the original, you know, from Mexico. They denominated it like tequila is Mexican, it's made in Mexico, and it's made only in Mexico. But we can spend 2 hours about talking about tequila. So we will. In 2010, the Mexican cuisine, you know, has been a nice culture, very, very interesting thing in Mexico for the people as outside of the country. You know, they check, they see the Mexican cuisine has been very keeping the history as the modernity, you know. Like, they've been using the same ingredients they were using back in our Indians, and are using now our chefs, the fashion chefs now, they can make a meal with the same ingredients they were used to be, but now they have more ideas, they got new versions to cook the food that make it more fancy or very tasty, and still, the base is the same ingredients that back in the days. Corn, tomatoes, chile, like the beans. I mean, you have beans, corn, and chile at home, you're happy. In Mexico, it's very popular. The Mexican scene is very popular, and it's very influencing the dishes are typical for different states. We have 32 states in Mexico, and pretty much every state or every city, they have their own type of food. And that's very, very important as a Mexicans, you know. If you eat in the north, if you eat something from the south, from Oaxaca, we talk about tamales. Tamales are very popular in the Mexican cuisine, and they're pretty much the original tamales is on Oaxaca. So you're selling tamales at very north of the country, you should say, you know, like tamales Oaxaca style. I mean, you respect that. The same in the south, you know. If they're selling a piece of steak from the north of the state, they still have on the dish or the day menus, they use the name and respect, like, okay, Veracruz style. You know, Veracruz is right here in the Gulf of Mexico, but you're selling the food on the north, you still respect it as Veracruz style, you know. Well, now I was switching to here to Habaneros. Habaneros is a Mexican restaurant on Police Island. That's owned by my family. And we've been here since 97 with the business. And we're making in this county, in Georgetown County, since 97. But if I will tell you how this started, you know. Back in 92, the situation in Mexico started getting economic problems, you know, very difficult for us to just keep on a farm. And so my old brother decided to come to the States, and he ends here in South Carolina working on a restaurant. And 2 years later, my dad moved to the States too, and they start working and figured out that after being working on a restaurant and getting the experience and to know more about how to run a restaurant, they decided to start their own project. And one day my dad got a call from his friend and said, you know, it's a location that I see it in a specific place if you want to take a look. And I remember that at that time I was still in Mexico, but I remember that my dad came and took a look in the place, in the location, and a week later they were working on it. You know, this is my family. I'm sure you know this is my old brother, my two brothers and a sister, and I think this is myself. Still the same. That's my family. You know, that's my dad and my three brothers and my 2 brothers and my sister and my mom. They were the ones that started this. My parents. And thank God, you know, we are a very Mexican family, as you can see it. Now we got kids too. We've been growing. This is my brother family. You can see we are always been as a family, restaurants family. We enjoy. We're as a family, and through the customers, we were learning a lot. You know, because they treat us as a family more than as a business person or you know, a server or a worker. Our restaurant is very popular because we enjoy having friends. You know, the people over there is our friends. And we call it, Habaneros is a good place to meet with family and friends and it became very popular. You walk to the restaurant, our regulars, we know what they eat, what they drink. Sometimes we know which table they like to sit to. So by the time they sit down, they already have a drink, or at least like, same thing. We don't need the plate. It's just, yes. That's myself working. Me working in there is really a pleasure. I enjoy it. It's something I really have passion in me to be part of it. That's me working in a party too, so we can carry parties too. Here, as I say, this is a family and it's a friends. You meet with family and friends, and you can see we enjoy that. People enjoy, and something we very engaged with that, because we pretty much been there for almost 25 years. I have to mention it. This year is our 25th anniversary for the restaurant. We see the town grow. We see the kids grow. We see those kids now, they're married, they have careers, they have family, they got kids. Now it's like, my God, we're getting old. But it's so nice to be here. We have young people, we see them grow, and now some of them already work for us too. They like to be there. When I can start working, say, one day, And it's always for us, and very nice and very satisfying, the people that we see growing, and now they say, can I work there this summer? Yes, This is, something of my employers. There's a very important thing on the restaurant, We try them, and we are family. There's a family that, we see every day. We see it for a whole day. And the best way to hang out as a friend or family and work together as a team. Now, after be talking a little bit more, we want to introduce some of our menu dishes that we can talk about it. And these, you can see the enchiladas. Enchiladas, this is a plate enchiladas. The base of the enchilada is a tortilla. Tortilla is made with corn. See? And the enchiladas, you can see as different types. We have the red enchiladas, the different sauce, and we also the green salsa enchiladas, which is another different sauce. The enchilada sauce, the green sauce is made with a specific ingredient named tomatillo. Tomatillo, I'm sure you will see it. It's a green tomato that has skin, or you have to peel out. I can see in showing you in the next picture. It's a tomatillo. Tomatillo is always green. And you can make the salsa green, but you also can make a red sauce. All depends on the peppers, which again, the pepper play a very important thing in our kitchen. This is a tamales. Tamales made with corn. And to cook the tamales, we can see we have to use the corn skin, the corn lids. This is a pineapple. It's one of the popular dishes in our restaurant. It's made with the steak, chicken, shrimp, and chorizo. And it's very, very good. It's made. We have grilled pineapples and cheese, and that's a very popular dish. This is, as we mentioned earlier, right? The name of the real thing is a molcajete. I mentioned it earlier. It was Mexican licuadora, right? The licuadora is a blender, Mexican blender. It's something very popular in our menu, as you can see. It has old beans, it has cactus. I don't know if you guys have cactus before, but cactus is a veggie that is very, very popular in Mexico. It grows everywhere, and it's something very rich in proteins and very good. More, you can see more how popular it is, right? This is carnitas. Carnitas is made with pork. Then you have to cook slow. It takes like 3.5, 4 hours to cook the carnitas. The carnitas is a dish very popular from Jalisco state. Jalisco is in the center of the country. It's about 4.5 hours west from Mexico City. And the carnitas has a very popular dish from there. As you say, you have to eat a good carnitas, Jalisco style, That's another pineapple. You can see it very good. This is the chicken soup. Chicken soup became one of the most popular on the menu, And it's very good. It's very, people always say, I can't feel like sick. Habanero soup. We have a friend say, habanero soup, People go there, I don't want this, but I want a soup. So you can see, this is a quesadilla also. Quesadilla is made with tortilla and grilled cheese inside, and you can fill it with your choice. It can be steak, it can be spinach, you can fill it with chicken, you can fill it with a shrimp. But a quesadilla is one of the dishes that's very popular in Mexico. So I'm so happy to have it here in our too. This is a dish it's made with chorizo. It's a chori queso. The chorizo is a very popular, it's a salsa. Chorizo is a Mexican sausage. And there's a city in the center next to Mexico City named Toluca, where it's with chorizo born. And no matter where you say, yeah, I want a chorizo, and they say, it's from Toluca? And you know it's from Toluca, it's good, right? This is the specialty tacos, it's like street tacos. In Mexico, it's so popular, no matter where you go, in the city, on the small towns, but it's always a taco stand, and there that you go and you can eat your tacos your way. You order steak, you can just always have they always have a filling bar, salsa, veggies, and you can just add whatever you like, and it's very, very popular. I forgot the margaritas, I don't bring it. And this is one of the desserts that's very popular too, the fried ice cream, People really ask, like, do you fry the ice cream? And yes, we do deep fry the ice cream. And it's like I've been telling you, being there on our menu, with our friends, and be part of that town, be part of the Georgetown County. It makes us, show us, the very, very important to be family. When we got there to Police Island, we were the first Hispanic or Latino family living in there. So the first obstacle, the worst part for us, I'm talking personally, it was the language. No English, People say, where you born to stay, where you don't speak English? I grew up in Mexico. I speak Spanish. But with the days, with the support of the customers, the friends and people, we so bright. And now also when I mention it too, Georgetown, Police Island, it became our town, our family, our home. We go back to Mexico, we go here, we were there. For us, home is here, Georgetown County, Police Island. We're really happy. And the more we go out, the more we love it, especially our people. And what can I say? You go back to the picture. Which one? The one before. I just want to comment a little. Yeah, over there. This is a restaurant design. It's been there, we've been 25 years. What happened last Saturday with all these winds? Sign is going. We lost it. We lost part of the restaurant, But I just noticed, after 25 years, hurricanes and all this, we lost our sign. We get a new one. Well, I just want to say that I really enjoy being here, being part of Mexico, the Mexican culture, the food. Come to the States and live with to learn something, when I moved to the States, for me everything was new. Just the festivities in here, they were something that we adopted, that we enjoyed, and that we had to live with them. And now our kids grow here, they have the same thing, They enjoyed it. We love this town. We love this county, and I think we don't want to wear. Awesome. Oh no, we don't want to. Well, now I want to just thank Mr. Daniel for having me here. I want to thank everybody for your time. Just be here. I really appreciate it. It's a valuable time for me. And please come and join. Have some food. I'm sure it's still a little warm. But you can stop anytime at the restaurant and have an experience. And have a margarita, and I hope we can come back and drink tequila with you guys too. Thank you so much for having me, I enjoyed it, and I'll be here for any questions that you have, and yes.
My cousin who lives in New Jersey has some Spanish friends, and they get together every now and then to make the mole sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So I gather that it's quite a process, and they kind of make it a big party weekend. So could you tell me a little bit more about the mole sauce, I believe?
Yes. The mole salsa is popular dish, it has to make with the base of the peppers. And always the best recipe is your mom's or your grandma. Yeah, but the base of that, you have to be, as cooking, you have to choose what type of peppers you're going to use, what type of flavor you want to add to, because there's a variety of mole. You can make it sweet, spicy, mild, chocolate, green. But the mole, the base of that, besides the peppers, the sauce, you have to cook it so slow. Like you have to dedicate it a whole time. You cannot move from the pot. Because you just turn around, stick, it's gone. You have to start all over. And it's a process, the peppers, but mole can go with any veggies. Can go with the best people use for mole is the pork. But you can combine it with any of the meats, any protein. But the flavors, all depends with flavor mole you like. But just it's something popular that when mama, grandma say, we're making mole, somebody's getting married, it's a wedding. Back in the days, what first dish they think is mole. And it's very traditional and it's so rich on flavor, They have to use probably, not for so far, but it's like 15, 20 or more ingredients to spice the mole. So it's where it's make it very, very special dish. And yes, you have to get together and that damn place, that have some family things. They can make you have parties, your kids, and you can make piñatas, you can entertain the kids, and you're just waiting for mole, and the moms or the ladies, they can spend all this time sharing how they make the mole, so they pass the recipes to the next generations. Yeah. Do you raise your hand? Does anybody have a question? I can be more happy to help.
Yeah, I think everything you said, we have that phrase, you are what you eat, and I think you demonstrated that culturally you really are, that the food you prepare and eat yourself, but also prepare for others really is a major part of your identity. But you're also doing something because you're something different because you're sharing that identity with the community and have been for 25 years. So, and you talked about that Habaneros has become this kind of a community meeting place. So that's, I think, really important to kind of emphasize. I guess I have a two-part question here. What is your, cooking is we know, a creative act. What's your favorite thing to cook, your favorite dish? And then the second part is, what's your favorite to eat?
To eat.
Yeah, they could be the same question.
Well, yes,
but
something I can eat every day, and can't get wrong with that, is rice and beans, I mean, like, the rice needs to be in same point every day, same cooking point. You can overcook the rice, you can less cook the rice. So you really have to be careful cooking the rice. Another thing I really enjoy is making the sauce for the sauce we put on top of the enchiladas. It's kind of like the mole sauce, It's made with different types of peppers and the spices, and they have to have the same consistency that we try to keep it for the last 25 years. So it's just a challenge too, keeping that. And sometimes we ask my Mom, why do you put this? She said, a little bit on your fingers, just grab a little. How much, when she can just make it exactly every day. Exactly same taste, but it's now you have to make portions and everything have to be the same, so you keep the consistency and on the flavors more than nothing, yes. But don't ask your mom, because she said just grab something with your fingers, You're right. Hey Mom, they don't have them in much, And something I really like to eat, and it's tamales and enchiladas verdes. I personally like enchiladas verdes, the red soup, the verdes, because they have a little bit of spicy. It's not like hot, but the flavor is more spicy. And I can just always get like, in a rush, don't get me wrong, but I always get rice and enchilada. And I'll be happy every day. Yes. But you know, we have a lot of things you can eat always there. They're good too. I mean, we have our fish tacos are really, really good. We have our fajitas. We have fajitas, different type of fajitas, and they just cook to perfection too. And then they're really good. But I would love, if you ask me, I'll answer a question. What I love to eat, you know, you get an education, be there every day for many years, and you say, what should I eat today? Enchilada and rice. You're done, you know? And I've been eating every single item on the menu, yes, but I can't stay with the enchilada and rice. Sometimes, you know, you short of time, you're in a rush, and you open for business, and like you realize you haven't eaten anything. You go to the kitchen, you got a plate, rice and beans, and just eat something to fill it. You're good to go, yes. And of course, in my home, and I'm sure in almost in every Mexican home, we have this spicy salsa, you know? It's made with the tomatillo. It's made with tomatillo, the green tomatillos we show it, with the red peppers, with the chile de árbol, is one of the types of peppers in Mexico. They're spicy. And no matter, we go out to eat, we eat at home, I always look for spicy. Are you Mexican? Yes, I am. I have to have a spicy in any of the meals. We also have our guacamole, we have our queso. That's very popular. You know, and people don't believe, but sometimes it's like, can I have cheese in my food? Can I have cheese? People get very engaged with our cheese sauce. And they can order any single thing from the menu and they say, can I have cheese on top of the sauce? So you go to Habaneros, you have to try it too.
Any other questions out there? I think folks are ready to eat. But
I hope they will.
Yeah.
You should start now before it gets cold. But I can see it's still warm. I can smell it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm hungry myself just being here and stuff. And it's good, but I would love you guys to enjoy it.
You see.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Oh, thank you so much. Let's get. And we'll get to eating. Thank you so much.